Oh, I see us now. Woo! I loved it, and I'm excited that each week I get a slice of Chuck to go along with this podcast. So, ooh, who's I saw at the drive-in? Don't they have some of the members from Mars Volta in there? Phil, sorry. Who can't hear you? Oh, can't hear Zach, but you can hear Joe. So we're talking about the Mars Volta right now. So that's exciting. And at the drive-in, check one. You talking about Omar Rodriguez Lopez, Bixler Zavala. Yeah, I'm in it, huh? I'm practically in the Matrix right now. So I actually got to see at the drive-in. They opened up for System of a Down, which was pretty crazy. I well, I saw this like 2 years ago in San Bernardino. So yeah, no worries. So yeah, so I got to see them. I thought it was a pretty cool show. Getting to see System of a Down and then getting to see who else played for that one. It was a bigger show. It wasn't hot for San Bernardino. I think it was like fall time. Fall time in San Bernardino can sometimes be warm, like the 80s or 90s. Like Thanksgiving will have like 90-degree weather, which really messes with your mind because most Thanksgivings it seems like it should be colder. You doing your Kermit impression? New show, Joe Talks Magic Cards. Hello, everyone. This is our new show, Joe Talks Magic Cards. Well, I will be discussing Zack, who's it's also a show where Joe has something in his eyes and continues to touch his eyes and his face, which you should
Hey,
not be
what's up?
doing.
Can y'all hear me now? I think they can hear me now.
Raise your hand if you can hear Zack.
Can you hear me
If
now?
you're at home.
Yeah.
Yay! Woo! Yes. Woo! Zack's voice, not Joe's voice. Oh, we already hear Joe's voice. It's not as sweet and velvety. That's okay.
All right, we're back. Everyone can hear me?
Zack's voice is like a turn 1 Soul Ring,
Yeah,
and
it
my
is.
voice is like a turn 13 Soul Ring.
I mean, it's still good. It's still ramping. So
Yes.
let's get into the business. Are you ready?
The business.
Yep. Gotta thank those viewers. We got 6 of them, it looks like. So thank you for hanging out with us. We hope this is kind of a solitude in your week where you can. Oh man, my tie's not showing up because of my microphone. I wanted to be fancy today. I appreciate we appreciate you guys taking time to hang out with us. Hopefully it's a kind of a calm place in your week where you can just like come and chill and listen to us talk some smack about magic cards, and you can talk back to us in chat. So thank you so much.
Definitely Everly says, yeah, but turn 1 Soul Rings gives you a slightly larger chance to lose. So
Yeah.
Zack's voice is a voice you could lose to. Is how I'm going to take that.
I mean, I did like I beat Brando Calrissian in some Magic.
Oh, really?
Apparently, Niv Mizzet Perun, you take him, draw a card. If you draw a card, wait, no, because instant or sorcery, you draw a card. If you draw a card, deal 1 damage. You put
Yes.
a little card called Curiosity on it that says whenever this creature deals damage, draw a card. And if you can start the loop with another instant or sorcery, that is infinite.
Tracking.
Yeah. So
yeah, I thought when you were going to say Niv Mizzet that you were going to go on with some kind of mathematical equation or something, but
me,
not
dude.
that Niv Mizzet.
Mind it. Do I know you in real life? Really?
Tell him, especially when we play Niv versus Niv.
How do you know my?
I feel like Niv Mizzet versus Niv Mizzet actually feels like the kind of game that Niv Mizzet would want to play. Like if he could play against himself, it definitely seems like he would love that.
Oh, it's Amelia. Okay, that's what I thought, but I was like, I don't know. But yeah, we played Niv versus Niv, and her Niv deck is not as messed up as mine. Mine takes like a bunch of turns.
So it's kind of like a Ryan Green deck.
Yeah, basically, like it's take all the turns, cast all the spells, draw all the cards. It's the do everything.
Do all the things.
Yeah, I do all the things. So, all right, let's get into these cards then. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first we've got Thermopod from Craig at Scraganoth.
Nice.
Yep. So this thing is pretty interesting. It's 4 and a red for a 4/3 snow creature slug. Oh yeah, Joe, do you want to talk about the theme?
Yeah, so the theme for this week, we were going to do it last week, but we decided to kind of take a mental health break. If you guys don't take care of yourself or your mental health, would definitely recommend it. We're big proponents for it, so we decided to take that break. But the theme was going to be 5 CMC to celebrate the Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. So we figured the 5 CMC cards were the ones that we asked you guys for, and this is what you guys were able to deliver to us. So you started off with the Thermopod.
So, yeah, the Thermopod is 4 and a red, so that's 5. No creature slug, 4/3. And if you pay looks like you have to pay a land from a snow permanent, such as a snow-covered mountain. Thermopod gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice a creature, add 1 red to your mana pool.
What do you think about this?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Thermopod
seems pretty cool.
Not so much for the hasty business, but more for the sack outlet, get your mana up kind of situation.
With this having a sack and add red, it makes you think it could go well with like goblins. It could go well with like Kaikar, but I think for a Kaikar, the spirits you can sack, I believe.
Yeah. Or
Kaikar allows you to sack them to get stuff. So, yeah, Thermopod seems pretty cool. I'm, as always, a big proponent of fashion and attire, and it looks like this worm has some kind of weird double hat thing. Those could just be its antennas, but I'm going to assume that it's some kind of hat that it's wearing. It has 2 party hats on.
Hat tribal, bro. Hat tribal. That should be a deck.
A worm with 2 party hats on. The guys who seem to be also at the party with the Thermopod don't seem to be having a good time.
Yeah, they're having a
falling
bad
into
time.
the dance floor.
So, all right, what we got next? This is from Lily at Princess Lily MTG. You want to read this one, Joe?
Yeah, so this is Tidings. It's 3, a blue, and a blue for a sorcery, and it says draw 4 cards. So 5 mana, draw 4. The flavor text is, though the letter was many pages long, I could tell all I needed to know from one look at the messenger's face. Baron, Master Wizard.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I like the flavor text. I had a Baron Master Wizard card. I have it somewhere, but yeah,
this could go well in your Niv Mizzet deck, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna draw you 4 cards.
Yeah, I've actually not seen this card before. I like it quite a bit. I would play this like in Niv Mizzet or in one of my other rando blue control decks, maybe.
It seems pretty good. The seal that he has, it looks like he's putting on some kind of seal on some parchment. It's a blue one, so I definitely assume this would be played in blue type of decks.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what the seal was.
Well, it looks like one of those wax seals that he's holding a ring to like seal the envelope or whatever.
Oh yeah, but that's a blue candle too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is. Well, yeah, the wax is blue from the thing. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Like, I want to get like a signet ring of some sort and be able to seal letters with wax.
Maybe that could be the next thing that we get, is like some kind of Joe and Zack Talks Magic card, like candle seal. Or if you guys did the Commander Social one and you had the little homunculus guy on there,
yeah,
who would be mad about getting a letter that had like a wax homunculus seal?
Right.
On it?
I'll have to look into getting a signet with that on it.
That'd be beautiful.
All right. So what is next? Also, Joe, you know what? You're beautiful.
What? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. All right. So this is Ryan Sullivan's card, and the SHS Game Club submitted this. Archangel of Thune. This is a Boros staple.
Yeah. And you love Boros.
I do. Archangel of Thune is 3 white for a creature angel, 3/4 flying lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Yeah.
And the flavor text, even the wicked have nightmares.
It's true. Joe does love the flavor texts.
He's
all about the flavor.
I've been so I work with kids, and so right now I'm doing telehealth services. So I've actually been reading one of the Goosebump books to one of the kids that I work with.
Which one?
And they were asking me like, "Oh, can you change your voice for the different voices?" So now, whenever I read anything, I'm just like, "Oh, let's do like a different voice for it," which is hard for me being monotone, but
yeah,
I still do the best I can.
I like have 3 voices. It's like, "Hey, what's up?" or when I'm making, or like not making fun, but like I'm like, if I were like, "Well, Joe said this," and Joe was like,
yeah,
that's about it.
It definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
What kind of voice do you think this Archangel of Thune has?
It's just the sound of like a swishing sword.
Like a woof? Well, it looks like that sword's on fire.
Yeah,
right?
So maybe a crackling woof.
A woof? As it does it? Do you think? Well, because isn't that how lightning makes the sound that you hear or whatever from thunder? Is like it heats up the sky and the particles and all that? Can someone tell me I'm wrong in chat?
It breaks this. Something happens in it breaks the sound barrier.
Oh, really? That's what it is?
Yeah.
So that's the sound barrier being broken.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Archangel of Thune's breaking the sound barrier.
That's impressive if that's what's going on.
Yeah.
I like this card. I need this card. I'm actually looking for one. So if somebody's trying to like
are these pricey?
Hit your boy up, I will trade.
Are these pricey?
I think it's like 20 something actually. Yeah.
Oh wow.
This one's like 20 or so. I mean, the flying lifelink, this goes great in any kind of a Johnny's Pride Mate deck, which we featured 2 weeks ago. So I'm just gonna keep going back to Johnny's Pride Mate and Healer Hawks. Those are the good cards that you want to be playing in Boros.
Well, so. I mean, with the lifelink and the +1/+1 on each creature you control, like, that's pretty good. That's pretty
definitely
good. All right, what is next? I'll let you do this one, Joe. This is from Cable Beck.
Okay. Ooh, Sandras Ignition. It's 3, a red and a red for a sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent's. In the moment before her execution, she realized what it meant to be a pyromancer, to be alive, to be Chandra. How crazy is this one? I actually Cable Beck.
Nuts.
Cable Beck played this against me when he was playing his was it Gyrus? I think it was Gyrus, the Jund Hydra reanimator thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he dealt a bunch of damage and killed me, and I was like, well, I have nothing for that. So this one's definitely pretty good. You play this one in Crash also, I believe, right?
Yeah. Ryan plays it in all of his Chandra decks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all of his mono red decks have this. It's pretty good.
Even like Chandra Tribal? Like what does he put this one on in Chandra Tribal?
who knows? It just has Chandra on it, so he puts it in the deck.
It has to be in
Yeah,
there.
it's
If
gotta
they
be
made
in there.
Chandra art like for lands, like mountains, do you think he would like play those ones?
Yeah, he has
Got Chandra
special
from
ones.
them.
Like I gave him some, and then he ordered some online. Some like Ravnica, like fire lands from like I think they're from the Jason Chandra spell book, not spell
Oh,
book.
okay.
The Planeswalker versus pack or whatever from back in the day that came with Baby Jace.
The Chandra deck is, or the spell book is coming out. Do you think this will
Yeah.
be a card that'll be in there?
Uh, yeah, probably. I think it'll have different
Yeah.
art.
What do you think the art will? Because her ignition, it has to have something with her and flames or something,
Yeah,
right?
I just think it'll show her more prominently.
Oh, okay. Versus this one being kind of like this circle around her and her blowing
Yeah,
up kind of thing. This
yeah,
one almost makes it look like she's like a comet and she like is
right.
too.
So
Yeah,
is this
but
like Chandra's? Let's see. And that was for execution. She realized what it meant to be a pyromancer, to be alive, to be Chandra. Wait, they executed
yeah.
Chandra? What?
Well, I mean, I think they attempted to, and then that's when like she sparked. Anyone who's into Vorthos or like knows the
Yeah.
story behind this is gonna be like, wrong. They're so wrong. But
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was gonna ask. I was like, is this her like igniting her spark and like getting out of there?
it seems like it. Like she was like, yeah, I'm done, kind of thing. I don't know what
Yeah.
she was getting executed for. I feel like you have to do something pretty bad
Yeah.
to get executed. Maybe she said that the red Gear Hulk was the best Gear Hulk, and that's why they're like, nah, get out of here.
I don't even know what the Red
Nobody's
Gear
playing.
Hulk does.
No one's playing combustible Gear Hulk. I believe it has first strike, and I believe it also deals damage based off of cards that you milled from the top of your deck.
Okay.
If only I had some kind of internet source to be able to look this up, you know?
Yeah, that's weird. I wouldn't worry about it.
When it enters the battlefield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If they don't, you put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then it deals damage to that player equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. So
What card is that?
that's combustible Gear Hulk. You want one?
No, I'm good.
No. Okay. Moving on.
Yep, moving on. This is from Chuck the Slice, who did our music.
Sweet.
Spiritmonger. This looks spicy. 3 black green for a creature beast, 6/6. Whenever Spiritmonger deals damage to a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Spiritmonger. That's pretty good. 1 black regenerate, or sorry, black regenerate Spiritmonger. Green. Spiritmonger becomes the color of your choice until end of turn.
Interesting.
That I don't quite understand what the last ability, what you would use that for, but like, I don't know. Like, I think this card's good in that, I mean, it's a 6/6 for 5, and it gets a +1/+1 whenever it deals damage to a creature. So you attack in with this guy, and it's like, well, do I just want to take 6 or do I want to block and like pump him up? So then I take 7 next turn when I don't have another blocker or something.
This one seems like it would be good for the mutate decks that they have. If you were to have some of those and like be able to mutate onto this one, because the ability to regenerate seems like it'd be really strong, and then also with being able to get counters.
Yep.
Johnny says, I remember this card was the bee's knees when it was new. So apparently this is an old dog, but still has some cool tricks to it.
Tricks. Yo, Lenny, what's your husband's turnip prices at? Because I think I'm on. Are you doing turnips, Joe?
I'm not gonna say I forgot to buy turnips, but I don't have any turnips on my island currently.
I find, like, I set an alarm and I bought turnips, and like I've been filling in the chart to see what my turnip prices are gonna be, and right now like the max is like 125, and like the lowest is like 94, and like I bought them at like 110.
What is a turnip chart? How does that work?
It's like a website that you put the prices in, because you put what you bought it at, and then the price changes between AM and PM.
Okay.
So
I bought some turnips, or I went to Pixie Kitten's Island one time. A shout out to her, and I was able to sell some turnips, and I made bank. Stonks millionaire was me after that.
Nice.
I don't even know what those words mean, but I've worked with kids and I hear them say that stuff so much that I just thought I'd try it out for myself.
Amelia has a 50% chance of being 630 this week. That's how you make money.
That is impressive.
Yes.
So hit us up with the Dodo code. We will come visit your island. I've been known to bring gold or spacecraft things. I have those. Dude, make UFOs.
Did you get that robot? Those robot plans I sent you?
Yes, I did. So I have one of those.
Wait, what? You built one?
No, that takes a lot to have to build, but I did get the code thing for it.
Nice. I bought two, and I was like, I'll give one to Joe.
Yes, I appreciate that. So, anything that people want to try to trade to us in Animal Crossing, or if anybody wants to hit us up for that, definitely do. We love Animal Crossing.
I definitely want a record crate. CVD's friend has a record crate, and I like records, and I have the turntables. So
Huckleberry.
Yeah, Huckleberry.
Cool guy.
For sure. All right, what we got next, Joe? This is you.
Moving on from the Spiritmonger. Let's see what the next one is. We have Sarkin Unbroken. It's a 2-teamer, so that's a green, blue, and red for a planeswalker that starts at 4 loyalty. Its +1 is draw a card, then add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Its -2 is put a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And its -8, which is what you're going to want to get, is the search your library for any number of dragon creature cards and put them onto the library, then shuffle your library.
I mean, that seems pretty dope. You put him on the battlefield? Yeah. If you can protect this guy, I think he's pretty cool.
I mean, the +1, so you put him down, you get to +1 and 1, so he gets to 5. So you're hoping he survives for at least 3 to 4 more turns if you don't have any ways to proliferate those counters. I assume, I mean, his -2 makes a dragon, which kind of protects himself, but then you're having to go up a little bit more. But I assume if you're playing this in like Teamer Elemental deck, is what Amelia said.
Okay.
He seems like he'd be super strong if you have a way to protect him.
I'd
you definitely want to have dragons. I would say that.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a dragon type deck.
Oh
snap!
Card.
Trash card. Max is just jealous because he didn't have one. This was from Bruce, by the way.
I wonder if Max could comment on Sarkin's facial hair, though. All right. Sarkin does have some good facial hair, it looks like. So if Max could comment on that, obviously he feels like it's a trash card. But what about the facial hair? There's no hat for me to comment on. So
he should be wearing a hat.
All sorts of great people here. We agree, Johnny.
Yep.
We agree.
Everyone here is great.
I'm trying to see if there's any dragons in the background in this picture. It looks like there's a flying squirrel.
Yeah, I see that squirrel. Over off to the to the bottom left. It looks like there's like a dragon head there.
A dragon head? What? Yeah. I'm trying to look at this. A dragon head.
I wish I could point to it on screen, but I can't.
You're like, look there.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah. There it is. Oh, it looks like Max says that Sarkin's facial hair is better than a hat. So that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
What we got next? Oh, speaking of which, this is from Max Crandell.
Oh.
Just in time, dude. This is Finest Hour. Trying to read that.
You want me to?
Oh no, I was reading chat.
Oh, okay.
So Finest Hour is 2 green, white, blue for an enchantment. It says Exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap that creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase.
Yeah, Finest Hour. Do you know who that is in the art?
I do not.
That's Rafiq.
Is it?
Old school Rafiq. Max told me that you can't play Rafiq anymore, and I want to prove him wrong, but I also feel like Max is kind of right about playing Rafiq, because normally he's a Voltron, right? So he's going to pump himself up. Typically, people would get scared seeing Rafiq. Rafiq, to me, fits in the category of like OG Kalia. One of the like earlier commanders that people would play, and people would be like, kind of unsure. I did see, and Zach, you'd be interested in this. Somebody was saying you can play Rafik Infect. So instead of trying to kill them via commander, you can play a Bant Infect deck.
Interesting. I would consider that.
Doesn't that seem like something you would want to do?
Yeah, it seems like infect in a weird way.
Right, you probably definitely want to have more infect creatures. They're white infect creatures, right? Is there an infect creature in each color?
I don't know.
I feel like it's not just black. There's definitely white infect creatures. There's infect artifacts, right? There's like that one mirror.
Yeah.
I'm just making this up. I'm creating infect cards that don't even exist now. It's not all Skitherix. There's not just Skittles. I'm pretty sure that there's infect in every color.
Yeah, there's definitely blue for shizzle.
Yeah, and you can proliferate. I mean, you're in good colors to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm currently trying to build Cathrol, but maybe this is something that I'll also try to build is some kind of like infect Rafik deck. Just see if I can come out guns a-blazing. A Bant Enchantress deck, true. I feel like Rafik's perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But I like Rafik. I think this card's cool.
I heard Max's Tuvasa deck wasn't very good.
Oh, I love this Tuvasa deck. Yeah, that deck's something else. This one's cool too because for Bant colors, it gives you an additional combat phase. That's typically something I feel like you see in red. So to see it in Bant, that's pretty solid.
It kind of makes sense for white, I think.
Yeah, the combat white is good. People complain that white's not that good. That has its problems. White has some solid things. It does get helped out by other colors as well, but I think white's starting to make a comeback. I'll still hype up my Healer Hawk and my Johnny's Bridemaid.
With like, I'm trying to think what's come out recently, like True Love's Kiss with that card. It's, and then what is it?
Talking about recent white cards?
Yeah, like Smothering Tithe, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I mean,
white's been bolstered. I still think like a mono white deck is probably not going to be. That's probably going to be the worst monocolor deck you could probably play.
Yeah.
I mean, comparatively to the other colors, but like
Elish Norn is probably one of the better Praetors.
That's true. I forgot about Elish Norn. God, I hate that
card.
Oh,
Broodmoth and Helion are just bombs. That's true.
Yeah.
I really like the Helion, and Broodmoth's just going to be nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Godzilla art. I love Godzilla. I have a Godzilla picture right here. The
you had a picture of me there.
Cool. Well, it's next to the Godzilla one, but seeing the Broodmoth, I think Broodmoth would be awesome. A lot of people will play it. Getting to bring things back. I think we even talked about Broodmoth and Mikaeus the Unhallowed. So every boy needs a moth, I think is what we said.
Yep. All right. So Max's trash card is going away, and this is from Ryan Sullivan again.
Nice.
You want this one?
Ryan's such an awesome guy.
Yeah, I
can do this one. This is Gruesome Menagerie. It is a 3 black sorcery, and it says choose a creature card with converted mana cost 1 in your graveyard. Then do the same for creature cards with converted mana cost 2 and 3. Return those cards to the battlefield. And the flavor text is variety is also the spice of death by Sevara Golgari Shaman.
I'm gonna start saying that.
Sevara Golgari Shaman?
No, variety is the spice of death. Because I'm always like, yeah, variety is the spice of life. I'm like, yeah, that guy.
That put a good twist to it. As far as this goes, 5 mana, you get back 3 things, but they're kind of smaller. This seems like it would have been good in Standard, but Standard is now one of those formats where if you don't turn by the time, or if you don't win by the time that you draw your first hand, you're playing too slow. So
I don't know. I could see this in some sort of like, if you could get this in hand in some sort of like graveyard shenanigans deck.
Yeah. I'm trying to think for this one. What's something I would want that costs 1? Again, Healer Hawk. I feel like that's one. For 3,
Icarat's is 3, right?
Well, if you get something for 3, you can easily like Eternal Witness, right? Is the thing that you're gonna want to get.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna get another thing, or something to your hand. If you did like a Skull Winder, that's gonna be able to have your opponent get something too. So.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think this could be okay in an EDH, a more casual EDH like Golgari Reanimator type deck.
definitely if you're like milling things and maybe you want to get your Sakura tribe elder, the tribe scout out.
Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get that one, so you can ramp again, that seems like it would be good. The one is kind of throwing me off. I'm trying to think of things that cost one that I really want. Maybe a Birds of Paradise. Hope you ramp.
Yeah. Yeah. You get Sylvan Carroted for 2. I love that card.
Oh, that one has actually started going up in price quite a bit. It seems like people are catching on to that one.
Yeah, well, it was like $12 when Theros was in standard, when original Theros
Ooh.
was in standard, and now I think
Okay.
it's like 9. I think it's being played in Pioneer.
Yeah, Pioneer. I know I want it for the Cathrall deck I'm gonna make because it gives hexproof, and so hexproof will be good, and it can ramp me if I'm actually able to get it and put it on the board.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So what do we got next? Stuffy Doll from Tenebris 1. This card is a Ryan Green special. And so it's a 5-drop artifact creature construct. It's a 0/1. As Stuffy Doll enters the battlefield, choose a player. Ryan almost exclusively chooses me. Stuffy Doll is indestructible. Whenever Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. Tap, Stuffy Doll deals 1 damage to itself.
So how does everybody in chat feel about Stuffy Doll? Oh, Amelia, I have been destroyed by this card before. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Stuffy Doll will mess you up. Can't you do like Stuffy Doll and what is it, like Guilty Conscious? Is that the one that like does damage and then directs it and you can like ping somebody else for it?
I have no idea.
Am I making things up again?
Maybe. I'll
Guilty,
choose some research.
I don't know what will happen if I Google Guilty Conscious.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't Google that.
Guilty Conscious. Enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, Guilty Conscious deals that much damage to that creature. It costs 1 white, and it was from the set Scourge. So
interesting.
It's kind of interesting. I feel like those things would pair well together. Maybe I'm wrong. Stuffy Doll being 5 that's a little bit higher.
I'm okay with it for what it does. Like,
yeah, it's 5 generic. That's not terrible. It's indestructible, so that makes it even harder to try to like mess with.
Yeah.
I wonder if Stuffy Doll would be interesting to put in like a Cathrall list. Choose a player, indestructible if it's dealt damage. Like trying to pump this thing up because it's indestructible, and then like if somebody tries to block it, it's gonna still like deal a bunch of that damage to someone else. Like this thing seems like it would be a pain in the butt in like a Cathrall deck that's gonna put a bunch of tokens and like different counters on it.
That makes sense.
I talked myself into it.
Yeah, you gonna build it now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to find some Stuffy Dolls. I actually have. This is like a voodoo doll kind of thing, right?
Yeah. There's a version that looks like a voodoo doll.
Okay. That's what I was thinking because it looks like it has pens. If it was less than 5, I'd like it been too much. It's basically a complete attack deterrent. That's true. It's not really like a propagandic, but it's definitely one of those where people are like, you're gonna block with that thing? Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Especially if you could give it vigilance. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That would make it a pain.
It already is a pain.
Yeah. I feel like you're having flashbacks. Like there's stories that are popping up into your head.
No, just Ryan killing me with that thing. He's like, oh, someone's attacking with a huge creature. Let me go ahead and just block it with Stuffy Doll and Zack, that'll go to your face. I'm like, oh.
Man.
So this is a card from Chris Von Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah. You got this one?
Yeah, this is Fallen Shinobi. It's a It's a 3 for a blue-black, Dimir colors. It's a creature zombie ninja, which is pretty cool from Modern Horizons. It has ninjutsu for 2, a blue and a black. It says you can pay that cost, return an unblocked attacker you control to hand, put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped, and attack it. It also says, whenever Fallen Shinobi deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Until end of turn, you may play those cards without paying their mana costs.
I mean, this is definitely a CVD card.
Do you feel like that?
Yeah, because, he likes exiling. He likes playing cards. Let's see. I'm trying to figure this out. Is the hook thing replacing the hand or just kind of over the top of it? Yeah, I think he's holding on to that. I think that's a spatula, honestly. Like he's trying to, like he fell down. And he's trying to get up and flip those burgers. Like that gray edge in the bottom left corner is a fryer.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It seems like too. I've always pictured this one not so much as him being like sneaky and hanging on, but more so him being like, "Oh crap!" and then he's like kind of hanging on and he like catches his grip. I assume like zombies are kind of clumsy, so I picture him like kind of stumbling over the edge, but he's like, "Oh, I'm also a ninja," so this kind of like levels out a bit.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I totally thought it was a zombie looking around the corner of a pillar.
Oh,
I don't.
So
think
he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's somebody. I think he's hanging on. I think you guys are correct.
I mean, he does have a katana, right? I was gonna say a ninja sword. I assume they're called katanas.
Yeah, that's what Leonardo called his.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a katana. Katana sleeves are cool. I'm more of a dragon shield player, and I'm also more of a side loader. So.
Oh yeah, listeners, what do you think? Side loaders or top or push up into the bottom from the bottom inner sleeves? Let us know.
They're gonna make me proud with all the side loaders that we see.
Max, how do you feel about side loading perfect fits? Let us know.
He won't let me down.
Yeah.
I know he won't.
Oh, he will.
You're like counting on it. This one reminds me of what was the standard card that had the Spectre, and like when it dealt damage, you got to like look at a player's top 2 or exile.
Oh, was it Nightvale Spectre? Was that
it? It was something Spectre. Let's see, Nightvale Spectre. Looking for it. No, definitely not Nightvale Spectre. It was just from the Ravnica set that came out, which was like a year ago.
Max has no side loaders.
Well, I can get Max some if you would like them. So
yeah, I don't know if you know, Joe works for KMC now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pump them up. So hit me up, KMC. I will gladly support all the side loaders that you guys have. So
I'll support them right into the trash.
That is messed up. You would use them. I feel like if people let you have them, right?
No.
Wow. See, for me, maybe that's just how I am. That I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna give me this. Like, definitely gonna use it. If somebody's gonna give me the top 2 cards of their library because I attacked with a Fallen Shinobi, I'm definitely gonna use them. Yeah. I would not use them.
That's true.
Right? Thief of Sanity. That's the card I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely doesn't have the word Spectre in it.
It's a creature Spectre though. So
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you're good there then. Yeah, Max says right to the trash.
Man, sad day.
I
will gladly take them out of the trash. You let me know what trash those are in, and I will load them out from the side of the trash can.
I mean, I'm gonna definitely stomp them, and it's gonna be like "Happy Birthday" to the ground.
No, that's sad.
So what's up next? This is from Dan the Mustache Man.
Ooh.
Who read the last one? I forget. Did you or me?
I did.
Okay, then I'll read this one. Mazarek, Crawl, Death Priest. Seeing a lot of Golgari tonight, I feel like. It's 3 black green for a legendary creature insect shaman. Ooh. It's a 2/2 flying. When a player sacrifices another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So yeah, if you have some sort of like sack outlet in black and like are sacking creatures, you know, like I don't know, Bear Blossom Fairies or Dreadhorde Invasion people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Awakening Zone, so you can get your like 0/1 Eldrazi that sacrifice to get you one.
Yeah.
Dan says it's this Bay. I saw a Mazarek list that actually played with eggs. So it played with the artifacts that you sacrifice, but it says whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a +1/+1 counter you control.
Oh, jeez.
And then there is this weird thing where like you sacrifice the egg to one of the like modular cards, and that would put like a +1/+1 on it. Then you could remove it and like return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. And then you could like play it again. So you keep pumping up Mazarek and like doing the eggs thing. Somebody says this is anti-Corvold tech. I think this would go well in a Corvold. If you're able to like sacrifice things, this is gonna get pumped up, and then Corval's gonna pump itself up too. Seems solid. I think from the story, Mazarek used to be one of the leaders of the Golgari Guild.
Okay.
Or at least the insect fashion. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not sure if he got blown up or if that was Jared.
Maybe Vraska like killed him.
Yes. I definitely feel like. Oh, so here we go. When Mazarek turned on Vraska, Storov misled him and had him killed by Rakdos comedy troupe for enslaving the erstwhile and for betraying the swarm. So yeah,
nice.
he dead.
Nice.
Dead. Chris says he loves running this in Corvold. Sweet, sweet Dragon Prince.
Aw. It's a match.
So yeah, match made in heaven.
What we got next? Oh, I think this is our last card. This is Zach's favorite 5-drop. You didn't have to. We didn't say they had to be illegal.
Paradox. I didn't even see you put this in.
Yeah, Paradox Engine, and it's been in the list since last week. It's a 5-drop.
Do you want to read this one, or do you want me to read this?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay.
Paradox Engine 5 for a legendary artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. Like, look, I didn't think this was that bad. Like, I think what somebody told me was that it was worse when bad players played Paradox Engine and screwed it up, and that's more of why it got banned than like from good players doing things with it. Because if you play this, you should be ending the game pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think you play this, if you have it there, you're able to do something with it. Yep. But I mean, I feel like it's the same thing when someone was like, oh, you shouldn't play top because you don't know how to play top, Sensei's Divining top.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's fair, because again, it's like, well, you can't play this card until you know how it works. It's like, but how do I know it works until I play with it? That's kind of my experience. RIP from the chat for Paradox Engine.
I definitely feel you, Lenny.
Yeah, 4 out 1 for Paradox Engine. Definitely, I almost bought a Masterpiece Paradox Engine 2 days before it was banned.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was terrifying, because I was like, well, let's start getting Masterpieces, and this is one of like the prettiest ones. Agreed. The prettiest girl in the ball.
King Makar. Yeah.
That's old school. I played against Lenny's King Makar deck. He beat me. It was me and King Makar, and I got out of his Makar.
Yep. He just ran you down with it? Yeah, exactly.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
I would expect no
Paradox Engine's sweet. It was sad to see it go. What was the one they replaced? Like, you had Iona, I think.
Wait, what?
Was Iona also out, or Painter's Servant? And what was the other one they had?
I thought Painter's Servant came back in.
Yeah, Painter's Servant's in, and then I thought like Iona 2, and then Painter's Servant went from being like a $13 bookmark to people are trying to sell them for like $200.
Seems
was like,
right.
Joke's on you, because I'm not going to pay Painter's Servant. I wouldn't even pay Painter's Servant to paint anything.
It's true. I don't think because he's not the painter. He's the painter's servant, so he just carries the paint, I think. He's not an expert licensed painter.
Right. He's just the servant. It's kind of like a sorcerer's apprentice, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I do think the art for Painter's Servant is pretty. I think the first one was like Lurin. Yeah.
Lurin?
The Masterpiece one is also very pretty, though. Very beautiful. All the Masterpieces, though, I feel like are just nice. If you see someone play with the Masterpiece, you're like, oh, you really like this card.
Right. I kind of want a Masterpiece scroll rack.
You do?
Yeah, kind of.
One of my shout out to Michael. He has, I think, a Masterpiece scroll rack. He really loves scroll rack. He was trying to sell me on it, but I can't get into it. I'm just playing other people's Paradox Engine with a choir.
Yeah, that seems good.
That seems to be a thing. That's OPC, right? Other people's cardboard.
Oh yeah, dude. So speaking of other people's cardboard, I was going through some cards when I was playing with Brando Calrissian the other day. And I was like, oh, here's 5 flashes. And I was like, hey, Brandon, you want one of these? And he reads, he's like, oh, man, this card's dope. And I was like, yeah, that card's pretty dope, yeah. And he's like, I was like, you can have it. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, cool. He's like, I'm going to put it in X deck. And I was like, nah, dog, you can't. And he's like, why? And he's like, it's banned. And then he just threw it back. He just threw it at me. But
did Did you give him your Paradox engine? Because I feel like that the exact same thing could apply.
No, I would not, because I still love that card. It holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, you're like, you don't give something that you love away like that, Joe. What are you thinking?
It's true. It's true. I would never give you away, Joe. I would never give you away.
Thank you.
CC Orion wants you, but I got you. I got you, girl.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Cat Pop and the CCO guys.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Those guys are awesome. But
good
I believe
class.
you said that was the last card we had, right?
Yep, it is the last card we have. So it's pretty much about wrap-up time for us. I'm going to go to the wrap-it-up section. So
Woo!
if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Magic Card Talk. Individually, I'm at Z4CK38.
And I'm at Ginger Joe. The 0, the O in Joe is a 0 because as the CCO guys would say, I'm a 0.
Don't let him talk you down like that. Also, yeah, Chris Von Doom's Twitter's up here still. Like, he should be on Cad Pop.
Shout out to CBD. He's a solid guy.
Yeah.
We had him on the show. If you'd like to go back and watch that episode, would definitely recommend it.
Yep.
Chris is a very smart guy, a solid Magic player, just all around good guy. Definitely interact with him in the MTG community.
Yep. Yeah, we played with him. I got a few games in with him on Saturday for birthday EDH over the computer. You were there.
Yeah, I was. I was gonna say, as far as people being on podcasts, I feel like you should definitely have CVD on Commander Social. Commander Social is such an awesome podcast.
Thanks.
Obviously, it's your podcast, but I do enjoy listening to it, hearing the things that you and Ryan get to talk about.
You are the Jin's turn, though.
The MTG dad moments are always great.
Yeah.
Enjoy the online builds that you guys do, some of the deck techs. Excited to see you play Brokos, to see how Brokos it is.
Yep. I'm trying to decide if I can do this or not.
Uh-oh.
We did mini deck techs. We did 10 mini deck techs in our next episode that's coming. Well, not the one for this week. We're having some technical difficulties there, but the one next week we'll have. So let's go to the next slide. Commander Social sponsored by Mothership Books and Games. So you can, if you like any of these cards you've seen today, or you want to get some Ikoria stuff or whatever, I got a little you know what a watcher is, Joe?
Like something that you put on before you screw or hammer something, a washer?
Watcher. Like from D&D?
It's like somebody who watches the Watchmen. Oh, like a beholder?
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was a beholder. My bad.
Sweet, you got a beholder?
Yeah, it's like a little green beholder. It's kind of cute. I'm gonna set it with my ugly dolls.
Beholders are amazing, but also terrifying. I just looked up beholder on Google Images, and there's a picture of beautiful Squidward as a beholder. So
nice.
All you listeners out there, go check that one out.
Right. Yeah, they apparently they're asexual, and then they have a baby, and then the adult and the child fight, and whoever wins continues on.
How soon after they have the baby do they fight? Do some of them that maybe don't feel they're strong enough, as soon as they have the baby, they're
maybe
pick up your sword?
Maybe. I don't know. My roommate was telling me about this a while back, so maybe we'll have.
How do beholders fight? Is it the eyeballs and the laser beam things?
I think so. I think they control each other's minds.
That's kind of weird. Do you think the baby ones are stronger than the adult ones? I'm thinking about baby rattlesnakes, right?
Yeah,
baby snakes are supposed to be more poisonous.
Could be. Bite
the You're just making things up as I go.
Yeah. So anyway, these are our codes for May. Social ship. If you want free shipping on orders of $50 or more, so you get that box of Ikoria, get free shipping, and then Social 10% off all in stock MTG singles. And I know they're loading up on Ikoria stuff, so check that out.
Woo! Are they going to have some of the Ikoria, comic book art type cards?
Maybe. Maybe.
Sweet. We'll definitely have to check it out.
Yep. And then last but not least, check out Commander Social, like Joe said. It's my main podcast I host with Ryan Green. We're at Commander Social. And if you want to support us for this thing, or for Joe and Zack and Joe Talk Magic Cards, notice the name change. It was featuring Joe Hoffman, but now it's just straight Zack and Joe.
You're stuck with me now. Yep. I'm a permanent fixture.
That's what I want, man. I trust you.
Yeah.
So you know, if you want to support us, you know, those of you who do, thank you so much. And those of you who want to, it's patreon.com/commandersocial. And with that, it is time to play the outro. Are you ready, Joe?
Woo! Yes.